Hello, and welcome back to the Fae Banner Review, where we talk about gimmicks that may have already run their course, that or design choices that are questionable yet really funny, and I assure has plenty of those lying around. Today, we have a brand new 3 houses banner that, contrary to popular belief, has more than 3 houses in the game. The banner is also featuring a brand new alt for Dagger, which is the second aided hero in our aided hero gimmick hero thingy-majiggy. And as per tradition, I will be using this coveted line graph that may or may not be a line graph at the end of the day to rank the brand new 3 houses banner. Today's ranking will be based on how many houses are represented on the brand new 3 houses banner. And if you're watching this from your house, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so that I can continue to make these amazing yet awful videos for you to consume. And if you're not at home or in any house, then subscribe anyway. Yeah! First up, there's rearmed Marianne, and she's like a brave Marianne. Kinda, sorta, maybe, a lot. Hard to tell, not really, but I'm putting in words here to just accentuate how much I really can't tell and can also really tell. But yeah, it is a Marianne alt, that's for sure. It's been a long time coming considering she hasn't gotten anything since her CYO version, so it's kinda nice to see. And instead of being an infantry mage again, this time she's a sword flyer. Except that sword flyer is actually a red tome flyer, because that sword that's clearly a sword that she's wielding in her sword hand is actually a red tome. Blood Gang, red tome. It might have been hard to tell because of the icons and the range and the tome animation and everything else in the trailer, but please understand that this is in fact a tome and not a sword. It is kind of funny though. Let's see. It has slaying, stats, true stats that also work with AoEs, true damage reduction stats, null guard, and special jumps. I think it's pretty good. Red Tomes kind of needed something for a good while because Eclipse was really bad for the most part, and Devoted Basket was broken, but then they killed it, so they basically had nothing left to use after that point. So I dig it. I think it's a good choice. And because she's a rearmed, it means the only thing that's exclusive to her is her brand new special Requiem Prayer. Ooh. What's it do? Ooh, let's read it. Ooh. Let's see. It is a 2 cooldown res-based special that nullifies damage reduction, has built-in Dragon Wall, grants Canto 2 if her special goes off, and then she could refresh any ally akin to Shadow Shift. You know what? I actually don't really want this unit anymore. You can keep her. Thanks. Keep her in the vault. Thank you. Bye. We really are in skill creep territory at this point, huh? Although Emblem Ike was probably evident enough of that. TBH, 2BH, to be quite H. It's actually really cool because it can refresh basically anyone from my understanding, since it's not counted as an assist or treated as a sing or dance skill. This means more Brave Felix buffs, of course, but I would be lying if I said I didn't benefit from it either. No, actually, I would be telling the truth. Son of a bitch. I guess you could dance a dancer with this too, but you wouldn't be able to make it do an infinite loop with it because the cancel clause unfortunately exists, but it'd be really funny if you could do an infinite dance loop. It would probably be like the Pinette glitch, except completely unintended, although I guess the Pinette glitch was also unintended because it was a glitch, but you get what I mean. I guess one of the cool parts about this too is that you may not even need to enter combat for it since it just says Canto, but are you really willing to give her Far Trace 4 or Echo just for that purpose? I probably would, yeah. So she seems pretty cool overall, so I approve. There's also this new Discord skill she comes with that inflicts Discord and penalties and then gives a bunch of stats and true damage during combat, but I don't really care, to be honest. 2BH, to be quite H. In fact, they dropped this inheritance details on their main account, which is insane to me because not only is this the first time they've done it since ever, but also because they're adding limitations to the new reposition skill of all skills. Oh wait, we haven't gone there yet. Q Epic Transition. Next, there's Ash, and he's just a bow cav unit. I'm not wrong in saying that. It says it right there. He wields just a bow that just does bow things, I think. I don't know. I only read the weapon name. Let's see. It has slaying, stats, true stats, stats but for allies, null guard and null damage reduction on specials, -1 special jump on his first attack, and scowl if he or an ally initiates combat. That's not too shabby. Wait, also allies? I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like as of late, there's been a rise of units that are predominantly combat oriented that just come with pseudo support effects tacked on top of whatever they already do for some reason. This was on the last banner too with Halloween Nagi, and Tamara had her own thing on her own banner, as well as probably a fair bit of other units, and I gotta wonder why they're doing this. It's not a bad thing, of course, but it's definitely gonna throw me off when they drop stuff like some crazy nuke like Sebastian the infantry mage, who destroys anything and everything in the player phase. And then, what's this? He also gives every ally 2 attack during combat if it's a Tuesday evening? That's pretty awesome for an infantry mage, wowee! And in Ash's case, he just gives out Scowl, which is super random, but at least it's a good effect. Unlike Sebastian's, Ash is also keeping up the trend of units that absolutely want to get rid of their brand new skill they come with, because I don't think anyone is willingly going to use tier 4 seals at this point. IS is really trying to force your hand with this line of skills that would have been really cool like 2 years ago and not at the tail end of 2024. But you know, at least the other fodder is pretty good, and it's in a permanent pull position where, you know, half of the units on this banner really aren't, so I can't complain too much. And I mean, yeah, that sure is just the Bocav Ash from the hit game Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Tune in next time when we get just a Tome Cav or infantry or something that isn't Lawrence in a Speedo. Did you know about the epithet that makes his catalog page look way worse than it should be? And then there's Dorothea, and she's an ex-singer that sings in Fae. Not really much else to say, I guess. Let's see. Her weapon sucks. Yep, off to a good start. And her demote fodder is actually pretty good. I can't speak on speed cantrip, but I will always appreciate infantry no follow in the demote pool. That is a really, really good skill to throw in there. Unfortunately, that's about as much hype as I can give her, but you know, being a dancer for the 4th time, it could always be worse, right? No, not really. And then finally, we have Aided Dagger, and her gimmick is being the same unit as her refined original self, except she's covered in gold. We started out with that mini floating robot thing from Reagan that you could pass around, which was really cool, and now you could give a hawk to a unit of your choice. I don't regret making that joke. Other than that, she seems to basically just be Dagger, but modern, but let's make sure I don't miss anything crucial. Let's see, her weapon has slaying, stats but visible, true stats, true damage reduction stats, no follow-up, no guard, null penalties, basically the whole null sync, because yep. And she reduces special damage dealt by the foe. Yep, I see. Yep. I am digesting these things for sure. Yep, totally. She also has Pathfinder in her B slot that doesn't require an ally support, so that'll be fun. Yep, I see. Yep. I am digesting these things for sure. Yep, totally. Thankfully, you can only give it out to 1 unit at most, because otherwise it won't work. And I am very whelmed by her, I guess. I don't know. Is this that shocking? Yep, I see. Yep. I guess it's because it's another flavor of the same thing, but more modern, that we see so often with repeated units and gimmicks that it's really not as hype as pretty much a lot of other stuff they could be doing, especially if they aren't really doing many new things here. And I gotta say, most of the hype isn't even from any of these effects. I think the hype is in the assist skill. Like, whoa! Inheritable reposition power creep is finally here in reposition gate. It lets you reposition and cancel one after the assist, and it'll let you score well in arena. See, that is absolutely peak. In Pathfinder support, sure, yeah, whatever, don't really care, but reposition gate, I have to gate me one of those. Also unrelated, but I expected a much larger bird, but given that they're just going to hang on the side of the units anyway, it makes me question why we can't have regular accessories alongside it. Did you also know there's a toggle to disable these accessories too? It's kind of weird. And yeah, I don't know, at least she looks pretty cool, but there's not really much else to say on her. Oh wait, this could actually be used on Aether's defense now. And now Emblem Sigurd can have much more reach than before. We never really left Book 5 behind, did we? There's also Caspar, but we don't really know anything about him, so I actually don't know why I just brought him up. Maybe we'll have a normal pull version of Valentine Effie's axe, which would be pretty cool. Wouldn't have to be spending grails on that anymore, but it's hard to say because of the stats he's getting and whatever the hell debuffs are on the foe, but that's all speculation, and I only care to do so much of that. So, cue the epic transition. And now that we've gone over the brand new 3 houses units, I think it's time we rank the banner on the line graph. That may or may not be a line graph at the end of the day. And would you look at that? The brand new 3 houses banner has earned a 5 out of 10 on the line graph. Not a particularly amazing score for a banner, but it could always be worse. Or maybe it can't, I don't really remember all the scores. Congratulations 3 houses for finishing up the entirety of 2 of the houses cast. And some of you may be asking yourself, is this a banner that deserves my orbs? And there's a very simple answer to that. Maybe? The Halloween banner has some nice save related stuff if you're more into that, and we have a mythic at the end of the month, so that could be worth holding out for instead. The banner's not going to last for like the craziest amount of time, but you'll have enough time to make your decision by that point. It's not like you need to pull day 1, but if you do, then you could have a really cool arcane red tome that happens to look like a sword, but it is a red tome to pass around to any of your outdated red tome units. That, or you could summon for dagger and give a hawk to a unit instead. I don't regret repeating that joke. Inherit that thing.
Yeah!